watching this live. And thank God that you're here with us today. We've been talking about the past. We've been talking about it for months and months. So thank God that Nita Moyer is here, along with her wonderful husband Paul, and the staff and team is here to share with us the patch. I've been knowing Nina for since she was a little girl, little bitty girl, and then she's the daughter of my spiritual father, Apostle Gilbert Coleman, and we're just gonna give her an opportunity to share with us. Those that are watching us via live stream, I want you to stay with us, stay tuned, because she has some remarkable things to share with us on today. And again, it's going to be a blessing. Like I said, I share with you time and time again how it's blessed me. And my church family, they know how it's blessed me. So just want you to stay tuned. Just stay tuned and sit tight. She'll be with you in just a few seconds, all right? She's going to tell you a story that I don't believe that story. I don't remember. I do remember this. She's going to tell you a story about what happened some years ago. How I got her and her brother in trouble. Following at the span. They got in trouble. She'll tell you. I'll let her tell you a story. Thank God for her. Thank God for her dad, amen. Who's been such a spiritual blessing to me in my life, me and my wife. Amen. We've been knowing him for how long have we known him? Since 30. Andre be 37. 37. Andre was a baby, so 37 years, 37 years we've been knowing. How old are you? 40? How old are you? 40? Don't tell me. 53. Stop playing. Is your mom 53 for real? She is. You can tell me. You in church now. I'm just kidding. Now sit back. Holy Lord God, thank you for taking your time to share, sticking around. I appreciate you so much. Amen. Where mother go?
Michelle, come up here. All right, give me 5, give me 2, give me 60 seconds. So good morning. I'm gonna tell my I'm Nina Moore, right? My maiden name is Coleman, so you all know. Oh, that's right. They mute my mic. I'm sorry. Y'all know my daddy. I think Bishop Coleman, right? Okay, so I am his seed, and I'll probably act just like him. So I'm a PK kid. If y'all don't talk back to me, I'm gonna talk longer. All right, and so I'm excited to be here. I've known you both for a long time, and I really am 53. I know he's saying I'm in church, I'm telling the tale, but I really am 53, which means we were really kids when we met. And he did get us in trouble. He got us in trouble. He got us in trouble on it was New Year's Eve, and we had gone to church, and we were literally on our block, three houses up from three doors up from where we were, but because we were hanging with Span and we figured we were okay since we were with a grown up, my dad had a fit because he didn't know where we were, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We were creeping in the house. We had breakfast after New Year's service, and I mean, he had a fit. We were like, we were with Span. I don't understand what the problem is. He was like, you should have told us where you. And we was like, well, he should have told you, right? And so he got us in big trouble. We didn't get on punishment or nothing like that because back then, kids really got on punishment. Today, you just take a device from them. I don't know. I never heard anything like it. But hey y'all, right? So I hail from Philadelphia. That is where we met. And a few months ago, your bishop reached out to me to say, hey, I think I need your help because he had seen videos all over social media of how we're helping people. And it's amazing that our pastor, even this morning, put your stuff in the aisle for me, baby, said that God is healing systems, nervous systems. And I don't come to make any medical claims at all, but I can testify. And there's a good book that says that we're overcome by our what? Oh, come on. Y'all know it better than that. We're overcome by our what? There you go. And so this morning, what we're going to show you is, and what I believe is that you will not be able to unsee what you see. You won't be able to unhear what you hear. And then the biggest thing or the greatest thing of it all is that you can't unknow what you know, which is why Bishop has me here, because he said, I can't know that there is a better way. I can't know that there is a product out here that helped me that has no medicines, no ingredients, no chemicals, no toxins, which means if there's no ingredients, there's no what? No side effects, right? And so a lot of times we've been living our lives putting medicines in our bodies, and there's tons of side effects from them. We don't know what they're going to do. So I promise you this, we can wear multiple patches at one time, and guess what? You won't have to worry about growing an elbow out your knee. No, because that's what happens when you take medications. You got to take another medication to combat the side effects from another medication, and but by the time you look up, you're on 13 meds or 14 meds. We have a young lady on our team, and Tamika was on how many pills a day? 238 pills a week because she was on 34 pills a day. 34 pills a day. And here's what happens. What happens when you're on multiple pills multiple times a day? You don't even, they're not effective because by the end of the day, you don't remember that you didn't take dose number 2. You understand what I'm saying? Or you don't remember that you didn't take dose number 3. By the end of the, you wake up the next morning and say, doggone it, I forgot to take my set before bedtime. So what happens is now it's even less effective because you're not even getting all of the dosages that your body that was prescribed for you to get. And so, is it okay if I tell you a little bit of my story? Yes or yes? Is that okay? I was going to tell y'all anyway, but I wanted to buy in, right? All right. So, I've made a lot of money in what they call direct sales, right? And I'm a former hairstylist, 27 years. I was the worship leader at our church, taught all the music, all the choirs, everything. And I did that for free for all my life, right? And so a hairstylist for 27 years. I've owned salons, I've managed salons. And back in 2008, I was going through a divorce, and I'm not proud of that, but it is what happened. And during that time, with my 3 older children, I had one son that was going to college, I had one son that was going to high school, and I had one daughter that was going to elementary school. That was before our youngest daughter, Paige. Well, I was already working a lot of hours, Mom. I couldn't figure out another way to earn extra income because I had this child that was going to college that depended on me. Because guess what? I told him to go to college, right? And so because I told him to go to college, I had to do what? Provide for him, right? Well, my income situation changed drastically, and I had to figure out another way to make income that didn't pull me away from my children anymore. Like, it didn't cause me to work any more hours. And so what I was introduced to, a young lady saw me in church one Sunday and she said, "You really should come to this fashion meeting that we're having on Monday night." And so I like fashion. I said, "I'll go." And when I went, they had lied to me. It was not a fashion meeting, sir. It was not, okay? And I was a little bit upset because I said, "Now what in the world? This is not a fashion meeting." Well, it changed my life. I promise you, it changed my life. It opened my mind up to a different way of living. So I'm not here to really talk about that, but I kind of want to give you a little bit of history as to what changed my life. Right. So fast forward 2014, I decided to go pro in that arena, which was direct sales. I decided, you know what? I'm watching how you doing. A lot of people make a lot of money. I could go full time with this, and it pulled me away from the hours that I was working behind the chair and pulled me away to where I was helping people. Anybody in here want to help other people? Right? I believe that that's our destiny. It's our calling, right? That's why we were put here on the earth. And I went full time, which means that I decided to become a professional. And my husband, I was able to retire myself by January of 2015. But then I feel like the greatest part of that is that I was able to retire my husband. That's a big darn deal, right? October 30th of 2021. So we moved down here to Georgia on the 31st. We got here, well, we moved in like November the 3rd of 2021, and the rest is history. I believe God puts you in an uncomfortable place sometimes when you don't know anybody to really build you up, because you can only rely on Him when you're in a strange land, right? And so I will tell you that it was the best decision that we've ever made. And then last year, at the end of January, I got a phone call from a friend of mine named Stanisha Graham. Stanisha Graham is a lot taller than me. I'm 5'3". She about 6 feet tall, and she bosses me around. She thinks she's my grown up. She thinks she's younger than me, y'all. She's old enough to be my daughter, but she's the big little sister. And she called me, Trey, and she said, "Hey, Nina, I need you to take a look at something." And I told her, "Absolutely not. I'm not looking at another thing. I'm not doing that." I was building a brand around prayer and praise, and I decided that that's the route I was going. I'm done with direct sales. Well, she kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. And I'm very grateful that she did, because had I not answered the call finally, I was being a little hard headed. I was. But had I not answered the call, we wouldn't be here. Your pastor wouldn't have the results that he has, because I said yes then. So in February, I decided, no, I'm still was. She called me every week, sir, every couple of days, and I was being very nasty to her. Every single time she called, I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not doing that." And I got convicted when she called me and she said, "But Nina, you love helping people." And I said, "I do love helping people, but I don't want to sell another thing. I don't want to do that." And she said, "I don't think this is going to be that kind of a deal. You really need to go and meet the owner." So in February, I flew to Canada to meet the owner. Y'all remember the day I was going. And I kept telling, I had mixed emotions about going all the way to Canada, because there was a little strife going on in Canada between the United States and Canada that same week. And I said, "All right, y'all got to pray that I come back. I don't want to get stuck in Canada." Okay. And I went up there to meet the owner, and let me tell you what I was impressed by. As I sat there listening to Jay Dhaliwal, he's an Indian gentleman. He said, "My mother was diagnosed with something called MS in 1983. Mother, and something about the love of a child for their parent. He spent $25 million of his own money and 15 years of research and development, because after 20 years of his mom being on what? Medications, she still wasn't healed. As a matter of fact, she was a little worse off than when she started. And he said there's got to be a better way, as he began to understand the relationship between our brain and our body. How many of us agree that the brain controls the body? Let me see your hands, right? We agree with that, right? I just want to make sure I'm in the right place, right? We have to do a whole lesson on the brain controlling the body, all right? So we understand the brain controls the body, so that if something is off in our body, what does that mean? Something's off in the brain, right? So he understood. He's a tech genius. And he started to really say that there's got to be something going on with my mom's brain, because there's something going on in her body, right? Our body was designed by God to heal itself. That's its natural design. to heal itself. So when the body isn't healing itself, something is off. Something is off. So as I sat there and I listened to Jay Dollywall, it started to make a lot of sense to me. Maybe not the neuroscience side of it, the neurotechnology, because I'm not a scientist nor a doctor. So none of that makes sense to me. But you know what else doesn't make sense to me, mother? How a plane stays in the sky with me on it. And the 150, 200 other people that might be on that plane, that doesn't make sense to me. And I still get on the plane. I don't know who made the plane. I don't know who's flying the plane. I don't know their background. I don't know what their dietary things are. I don't know what their religious beliefs are. But I get on the plane and trust it. I plug into GPS. How many of y'all use the navigation in your car? I know I do because I still don't know my way around Georgia. All right, I use it, and I use it because sometimes the Georgia traffic is just so bad. Even when I know where I'm going, I need to know if there's a way to go around it. I need to know, right? Now, we use the navigation. We don't know whose voice that is. We just follow it. Turn left, turn right, turn left, make a U-turn, go back now, jump, right? And we do it. We do it with no problem at all. We follow it. So as I sat in that office with him, I said, you know what? I have to let my guard down. I may not understand what he's saying. Mother, I still don't understand it sometimes. I look at when we do our, and you're going to see it. You're going to say, ain't no way. Then I said, no, that's voodoo. Mm-mm. Ain't no way. As he kept trying to explain, Nina, this is science. Our body, like, there's a science. It's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's science. Well, I was partially convinced. I liked him. I loved his business acumen. He's a businessman, and I loved all of those things. But Tetra, I wasn't convinced until I'm sitting in the airport on the way home, and I jumped on Facebook. Now I have a pocketbook full of patches because he said I'm gonna give you a ton of patches. Go ahead, sample them out. That's how much he believed in his product. See, I believe so strongly in this product that I can put it on you, and I know immediately I'm gonna see a change. And he knew that, which is why he sent me home with a pocketbook full of products, mama. Right? So I'm on Facebook, sitting in the airport eating lunch, and a friend of mine pops on Facebook. She's crying. And I'm newsy, so I wanted to know what she was crying about. And only me. I know I'm the only newsy person in here, just me. So I'm newsy, she crying. And I mean, she was crying profusely. It wasn't like a whimper. She was wailing, crying. Any moms in here? Dads? Any parents in here? Grandparents? Aunties? Caretakers? Okay. So can you imagine having children? She has two sets of twins, but that's not why she was crying. Okay? She has two sets of twins. Her oldest boys are 9 years old now. They were 8 last year. And at the time, Jonathan Joel, one of them had begun to exhibit what's called aggressive behaviors. Let me tell you why. They're level 3 autistic, ADHD, IDD, nonverbal. That's not a good combination. So what happens when you add lack of sleep onto that? You know what happens? Aggressive behaviors. Because now they're so exhausted. I don't care who you are, even if you didn't have any touch of autism or ID, any of those things. If you don't sleep, you're not nice. None of us are nice. So imagine a child now that can't even express how he's feeling. So Jonathan had begun to exhibit aggressive behaviors. They took him to the hospital the day before, sir, and because he had cut his head open. So what happened at the hospital was the doctors gave him what's called adult seizure medication to knock him out. And it did. It knocked him out. But the next day when she's on Facebook crying, guess what's happening now, Mom? He's coming down off the meds. And his behavior was worse. So I called her immediately after the live was over, and I said, Ashley, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want to just send you something. I said, I don't even know if they work. I got a pocketbook full of patches, and I don't even know if they work, but guess what? They don't have any meds, no ingredients, no chemicals, no toxins, no side effects, safe for children. They like Band-Aids. So, of course, she said, what? Send them. Paul overnighted those patches to her. The rest is history. She called me that Friday morning on a FaceTime. Now, my heart is going boom, 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 because I don't know which way this is going to go. This could be bad, all the way bad, or this could be all the way good. She FaceTimed me to show me that at 7:30 in the morning, he was still asleep, that he had slept for the first time all night. All right, let's fast forward. Today, they are doing much better. Now, I will tell you this because I'm never going to lie to anybody. She was using less patches. And all of a sudden, recently, we noticed with Joel, her other twin, he's starting to have aggressive behaviors. We talked a few days ago. He started having aggressive behaviors because he wasn't sleeping. But we believe that there's something else going on. So he's got to go to the neurologist because all of a sudden they've been fine all this time. When I say sitting at the table, cutting and coloring, like taking showers, letting their mom hug and love on them because they wouldn't allow her to touch them. And now it's flipped. Now it's flipped. Jonathan's perfectly fine. And now Joelle, so she's experimenting with different patches. So I don't know if you all saw the other day, Joelle had his back was full of patches, almost every patch we have, right? Because at this point, we talked with Dr. Bramwell, who's one of the doctors on our team, and she suggested that put them all on his back. Put them all on his back and let's just see. And I believe that he actually slept. So when I messaged her, she said, oh, he finally did sleep a little bit. All right, so, but I will tell you that they saw massive improvement immediately. Well, that's when we were all said, we all said, oh, we in. I started sending the messages out. I sent it to Tedra and Trey, and I said, hey, y'all need to hear this. Because we all said we're not doing another thing. Not another thing. I sent it to Nichelle. She said, I'm in. Whatever y'all do, I'm in. I'm in. Right? And as we begin to travel everywhere or sending patches to people and what we collecting stories and collecting testimonies, we could not know what we know and not share this with the world. So that is why you can't go on Facebook without seeing us. Because we're so adamant now about helping people live a quality of life, have their dignity back, their independence, their freedom back. And then we started sampling the patches out. And so I want to have a few people come up and give you a testimony if that's okay, because that's what we like to do in church, testify. Right? I want Tedra Gordon and Trey Gordon to come up front because something changed his life the moment that we got these patches in. So Tedra and Trey, I'm going to give them the mic. They're going to come up. And then right behind them, we're going to get Ms. Zena to come up and give us her testimony.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are pleased to be here. Thank you so much, Pastor, for having my mentor and my coach here, the best of the best, right? And thank you for allowing us to share this testimony. You want to tell it or you want me to tell it? Okay. All right. So, as Mrs. Morris said, we were kind of sick of everything, right? We had seen a lot of things. But something happened when we got these patches. And I'm telling y'all, something happened. And this what said to me, okay, Tedra, you're going to put your whole self in. You know how you do the hokey pokey and they say you're going to put your right foot in and all of that? No, I knew I was all in, right? So my husband works in the maintenance field. He's a union painter, and he paints by trade, and that's what he does. And every day, y'all say every day, when he would go to work, not only did he have back pain, knee pain, wrist pain. I'm talking chronic pain, like wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I don't know if I can do this today. So when we got those patches, Nina sent us some samples, and I said, well, you're going to put these patches on. I said, put them on and keep them on every day. Not some days, but every day. So he got the patches on. We put on the Freedom patch and the Liberty patch. And those were the only two patches at that moment that we knew to put on. Of course, now he wears a few others. But he put on the Freedom patch for the pain and the Liberty patch for movement. And guess what, y'all? He went to work. And he came home. And usually when Trey come home, I'd be like, how was your day, babe? He like, oh, I ache. My wrist hurt. He said my knee hurt because we was in a car accident a couple years ago, and that made it even worse. And prior car accidents, his back is messed up. And he said, I feel good. I said, excuse me? He said, I don't have no pain.
Still feeling good.
Still feeling good, right? And still doing that same kind of work. But now we have no pain. So I'm telling y'all, it's amazing when you can have something and have your mate who you love, who you care about, who you want to be able to go to work pain-free, and now he's pain-free every single day. So thank you for allowing us to share.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Just to piggyback off what Tedra said, thank you, Pastor and First Lady, for giving us the time. By the way, the service was amazing because it spoke to me. It really spoke to me. Um, and I thank you for our Nina, Mrs. Moore, our wellness queen. She is wonderful, and it's because of Nina I joined the business. But let me just back up just a little bit. I have been suffering for years. I'm 63. I know I don't look it. Matter of fact, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm 62. I turned 62 on February 1st. So anyway, I have been I've been suffering with bone on bone arthritis in both knees, and it's from meniscus tears. I had two meniscus tears in the left knee, one meniscus tear in the right knee, and if you know that tendon when it's weak, boom, those bones just come down. Okay, on top of that, because of that, I developed arthritis in my lower back. Then the sciatic nerve, but get this, I am a diabetic, was a diabetic, did have high blood pressure. So as a result of the diabetes, I do have a little bit of neuropathy in my left foot. So it made my life just unbearable. So a friend of mine, Tammy Clark, we have been friends for a long time. We've been in different businesses together, and she was contacted me and said, "Yeah, I want you to get patched." Patched? What? What? Yeah. What is patched? And she kept, texting me and calling me. I was like, Tammy, you got to tell me what this patching thing is all about because I don't know. I don't know. Then she says, okay, let's do this. Since you're not coming to the events, get on a mastery call, a Monday mastery call with Nina. I said, well, Nina who? She said, just get on the call. When I got on that call and I heard the testimonies and I heard, I can't even explain it, I heard the passion in Anina's voice and I thought, well, this lady, she's good. I mean, and I was hooked. I was hooked. I hadn't even been patched yet. I didn't know anything about the patches. I didn't know. So I said, Tammy, this was after the Zoom. I said, Tammy, let's just meet up and let's give me some patches. Let me just see what this is all about. So, and at the time, she says, well, go ahead and join and blah, 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 this. And then, get your patches and we'll get together and I'll talk to you about it. Anyway, long story short, I patched myself. I put the pain patch on both knees and I put a pain patch on my back. And I came to an event, and you put some more patches on me because I didn't have the right combination of patches. But anyway, I started patching myself, and when I tell you, if you got bone on bone, if you got bone on bone, can you do this? Okay, I mean, I can exercise again. I've been losing weight with the Ignite patch. I've probably come down about 15 pounds or so since November. When I tell you it has changed the quality of my life because I could not. I have 31-year-old twins, but they still depend on me and they always calling, Mama, I need this, give me this, have me this, bring me that. So, and I couldn't do anything. My husband would tell you, I just was like, our relationship was just null and void because I'm just like, just don't bother me. Because I was in so much pain, but I'm just telling you, to God be the glory. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God for Nina. I thank God for just opening my eyes and showing me that there is something out there that can help his children. Because the Bible says, help thy neighbor. Thy neighbor is not necessarily next door. I'm just calling everybody, hey, I got a patch. I got a patch. Let me come patch you. And this has been the most wonderful thing that I have ever been involved with. And I'm here to tell you guys, this is it. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like Super Patch. It never was and it never will be.
And now we feel like Oprah Winfrey, and you get a patch, and you get a patch, and you get a patch, and you get a patch. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I want to at least show you in real time what the patches do, and then what we'll do is so Tedra Gordon, when she came up here, I didn't tell you that she's a certified health coach, and so she studied wellness. She has a certification for it, and she's gonna come up and she's going to tell you what each one of our patches actually do. We have 15 patches now. We had 13 up until last week, But two of our brand new patches, and I'm gonna bless you with a pack of those today too. Um, two of our brand new patches are our Zen and our Assure. All right, Zen is for cognitive memory, all right, and focus, right. And what we love about this patch right here is we're finding that when we pair this with our liberty and focus, which is a great combination, is this is reminding the body how it used to act before things started to happen. So you're gonna see, I mean, he's already upgraded, he's already improved and upgraded, but watch what you see once you see this. And then we have our Assure patch, and Assure is for nausea, motion sickness, dizziness. So maybe people that are expecting, or people going on cruises, or sometimes when I'm riding in the back seat of the car, I get a little nauseous just sitting in the back seat, which is rare, but when I'm back there, a little nauseated. And also people that maybe get medical treatments, right, through the week, where sometimes it leaves them very drained and or feeling a little woozy. So that's what we love these two patches for. So what I want to do is, if you don't mind, sir, can I give you a stability test? He looks real strong and able-bodied, right? So let's go ahead and bring him up here. We're gonna I'm gonna make him stronger. And I'm gonna show you not hocus pocus, but I'm gonna make you stronger. All I need to do is face me. All right. So I'm gonna use our Liberty Pad. Okay, yeah, we're gonna use our Liberty Pad. This is our foundational patch. Everybody say foundation. Foundation. We gotta have a strong foundation. This is the patch that our CEO designed for his mom. This is for mobility, stability, stamina, strength. This one is what's going to put our body in what's called total homeostasis. All right. What does that mean? That means total balance. All right. So whatever might be off in our bodies, because we don't know. We really don't know, which is why we end up having to take multiple meds. But whatever might be going on in our body, this Liberty patch immediately addresses that. So Liberty, I love the names of the patches too, and Ted is going to go over that. And what we call, we've got names for our combos. Um, it takes 7 seconds once I put this on your skin, 7 seconds for this to send a signal to your brain. So in 7 seconds, I'm going to make you stronger. All right. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to test you before the patch, and we're going to show everybody where you are before the patch and then after. You ready? What's your name?
Raymond.
All right. Raymond, say you ready. All right. So all I want you to do is take your hands like this, put them in your sternum, and lock your elbow. And I'm going to pull down. I want you to resist against me as much as possible. Don't pull back like this. Just resist from me pulling, pushing down. Okay? All right. You see, I was able to, and I'm telling you, y'all see this? Okay. All right, now I want you to face the camera. Raymond, put your arms down like this. And I want you to like you're having a tantrum, right? Tighten your arm. Don't bend this elbow. I'm going to push, make a fist. I'm going to push up, and I want you kind of like pushing down while I push up, and I'm going to touch what's called your lateral glute. Okay? Ready? Okay. So not as bad that way. He's a little stronger that way. Face me again. Now I'm going to put the little, what, are you right-handed or left-handed? Oh, you're left-handed. It's rare we find somebody left-handed. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on your right side, and the reason why is I want to make sure there's no hair where I put it, no oil, no lotion. I'm putting it on your right side because I want to make your left dominant side as strong as this side because it's your left. Just kind of shake your hands out a little bit, right? Everybody knows about we about seven. Are we about 7 seconds in? We're about 7 seconds in, right? You believe it? All right. All of the same thing, the same way. And lock them elbows down. And I'm going to do the same two tests. This is your vertical stability. Ready? Wow. 7 seconds. Right. All right. Right? You go like this. He said, I'm going to the gym. We got a patch for that, right? All right. And lock the arms. Don't bend. Ready? All right. Look at this. Now, y'all remember I was able to get him off his feet, right? Now, Raymond, we in church. Am I lying? 7 seconds. Now imagine Raymond is able-bodied, but imagine we put that patch on someone who's maybe not as able-bodied, somebody who's off, their balance is off, right? Like you, we don't have to, mommy. Somebody do that. So I want you to know, you saw that, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. That's right. Okay. I'm sorry. He said, get the microphone, Nina. Okay. So imagine Now, a person who is maybe a senior, because the statistics prove that 1 out of every 4 seniors who has a fall within 1 year, they may not be with us, especially if they have other pre-existing medical conditions. All right, thank you. Y'all clap it up for Raymond. All right, and not just that, every 11 seconds, there is a senior that's falling and entering the ER. Every 11 seconds. All right, so our goal now is to start at stability and mobility and balance, putting the body back in total homeostasis, and then what we do is we pair our patches together so that we can get the result that you need based on your symptoms. We do not claim to cure or mitigate any diseases. But what we know is that when we put, just like you just saw on Raymond, y'all saw his face, he couldn't believe it. He said, I'm in church, I can't even say what I want to say, right? He couldn't even see, he said, whoa, right? So you saw it immediately, there was a change in his body. 7 seconds for that to send a signal to your brain, a message. So that's what each patch does. Each patch sends a message to your body, and it sends a different message depending on what your body needs. So maybe you don't need stability. All of us, here's the thing, all of us need total balance, right? Which is the Liberty patch. And then, like I said, Tedra's going to go over some of the others. But, Mother, if you would, I see you in a boot. What happened? You had a bruised ankle. Did you fall? You twisted it. Are you in pain? Not in pain, but you twisted it because you had, was it a balance issue while you were walking? Yep. Let me see you walk over towards me, and I know it's going to be a little difficult because for us to kind of really tell, but I want to see if we can at least improve your balance a little bit. You good? Yep. Come on, walk over to me. No, no cane. Okay. Yep, I see you. All right, we're going to put a Liberty patch on you. And are you right or left-handed? You're right. I'm going to put it on your left side. Thank God you're not in any pain. That's good to know. Oh, good for you. Good for you. So now so now we'll have you a little bit more balanced. Just in 7 seconds, you can just stop. Shake your hands out, right? Yep. This is Liberty. Yep, so this is Liberty, total balance, total homeostasis. All right, so we gonna give you a chance to walk around. I'm gonna get out the way. Y'all see her balance is better, right? Y'all see that? Even with the boot. She was wobbling when she got up to come on over. I see you. I see you, Mom. I see you. Yeah, she was wobbling a little bit more when she came around. Okay. And she's standing much more straight. You see, now she's running. Now you know what? Mom is running now. We got Mom running. I love it. Is there anybody in here that's in pain? Anybody in pain? No one? You looking like you want a stability test. She said, I want one of them. I want to be strong too. You want you know that's what happens. People are like, now wait a minute, you can't make him strong and not make me strong too. Come on up. We're gonna give you a stability test. All right. What's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine, y'all. We're gonna make her stronger too. Because she was standing in the back looking like, no, you're not just gonna make him stronger and not make me stronger too. All right. That's your cousin? All right. Jasmine is the favorite cousin. Okay, I want y'all, everybody on social media, we want you to know she's the favorite cousin. You play spades? And she plays spades. I'm just saying. I play spades too. We have to get you over. Thank you. Are you right or left-handed? Right. Okay. So we're gonna do the test first. Put your hands right here and your chest. Lock your arms down. And I'm gonna do the same thing that you saw me do with Raymond. How you doing, Sylvia? All right. Oops, that's okay. No, you're good. Y'all see this before, baby. Got no balance. And you're putting in your sternum block. All right. All right, Jen. down when I push up. Ready? Look at this. Now, y'all remember I was literally, I could have pushed you through that window. And look at her now, strong as ever. She said that window tested. She got like, look at this. Super pads, right? Super pads. All right, so we're going to explain all the patches now. Yes. Come on, come on, come on. She said, wait a minute, me too. What's your name? Oh, we got Blondie. All right. Short, too. All right, so I'm going to test your stability before the patch. Okay. And I'm going to test after. So put your feet in, sternum, lock your elbows. Okay. Okay. Ready? Yep. We knew that was going to happen. All right. Go forward. Put your arms down, Blondie, like this. No, come back here with me. No, with me. You got to stay with you. And then like this. And then remember, don't bend this elbow, okay? Make it. When I push up, I want you to push down on the hand, okay? We can test that. Okay, so you're not as bad this way. All right, face me. And we're gonna go ahead and give you a stability. Are you right or left-handed? Right. All right, let's lift your sleeves over there. And now you can all right, take it out, take it out. All right, let's put them 7 seconds, right? Raymond, you ain't you Raymond, you supposed to say 7 seconds. That's right. Lock. That's right. Lock down. You ready? All right, Blondie. Ready? Look. Oh, wow. Right. Okay. Let's go like this. And lock this arm. Okay. Lock it. And when I pull up, you push on this knee. Ready? Right. Look at this. No movement. None. Wow. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. So that's just, and that's just like, that's one patch. One patch. And so I do want, Bishop, I do want to put a Zen on you. Yep, I'm gonna put it. He said, "Come on, put it on." Yes, it's like the having the. You're right. It's like the third eye. So while I put this on, Pastor, on Bishop, Tedra, if you wouldn't mind coming on up and going ahead and going over, and if you want to, Paige, can you pass one of these out to every everybody that like, yeah, especially the people that are not super paid. I'm gonna put a victory on. Pass me a victory. You want a victory? I'll put a victory and a Zen on paper. You just got on Liberty. You got on victory too? You got on peace? You got on this one? You got on big no, you got on peace and liberty. Okay, I'm gonna put on. Zen patches. Yes. Oh, thank you. It's so funny. Thank you, baby. Oh no, you're fine. Listen, you gotta hook Bishop up, right? So we are going to go over all of the patches. I'm pleased to say that now we have 15. Can somebody say 15 amazing, amazing patches? Okay, phenomenal. And they all do something absolutely incredible. Oh yeah, if y'all don't talk back, I might talk for a long time because I'm a PK kid. Bishop said, okay, I'm a talk back. So we're not going to go back into the Liberty patch because Mrs. Mora went over that patch. But what I want y'all to remember, this is the foundational patch. So this is the patch where you start with everything. It's going to give the body, again, total homeostasis, okay? Everybody needs this patch.
That's Liberty, the one that you have on mine. And then we have a patch called Victory. Now, we like to say this is the cousin to the Liberty patch because guess what? It almost does the same exact thing. But some of the differences are, does anybody in here like to go to the gym or work out? Okay, Blondie says she works out. So this is going to help with athletic performance. I myself wear this when I go to the gym as well. It also is going to give you better endurance. It's going to give you more stability, okay? And it also helps when you go to the gym. You know how sometimes you sore after your workout? Well, guess what? This is going to help with the soreness because it's going to give you a faster recovery. We don't say you do Victory instead of Liberty. You can do it in addition to. So we don't really replace one with the other, but this is going to give you that athletic performance. And it could be something as small as walking, or if you have a busy lifestyle, you don't have to be in the gym, doing that big old workout, but it's definitely going to make a difference. Then we have a patch called the Freedom Patch. Now, this is the patch that I told y'all about that truly helped my husband. This is for chronic pain, all right? But guess what? When you use it by itself, it's basically for minor aches and pains, okay? It's going to be like, okay, if I have a level 5 or less, then this might be all that you need is the Freedom Patch. But if you couple in this with either the Liberty or the Victory, somebody say you're going to have a greater result. A greater result, okay? And that's going to be for like your chronic pain use. So, Freedom, just remember, if you want to be free, the names of the patches kind of tell you what they do because it's going to give you that pain freedom that you need. Then we have a patch that I believe everybody should have, and I wear it every single day. Does anybody have any stress in their life in this room? Anybody? Oh, he said, listen, 7 seconds. Raymond said, he raised his hand real fast. He said, me. So, Raymond, listen, if you want a little bit more peace, Raymond, this is going to give you some peace. This piece right here is going to add some calmness to your day. It's going to alleviate the stress, all right? And it's going to work in 7 seconds too, just like that Liberty patch, okay? So this one is really good, all right? And I like it even when you have pain because guess what? It's going to calm everything down. Y'all ever see a person who's in pain, if they have back pain, it kind of tensed up like this or wherever the pain is, this is going to calm everything down. So it's not just like if you're in a stressful work environment or you're dealing with some chaos and things like that, it's going to help even when you're tense due to pain. All right. Then we have an amazing patch that I like that I say everybody can use. Does everybody in here have skin? We all have skin, right? Absolutely. So guess what? This is called our Defend patch. And Defend does just what it says. It defends and protects the body. All right. It is great for immune support. It helps with blood flow. It's going to help with recovery. All right. And guess what? It's really good if you're dealing with anything like allergies and things like that. And again, we're not making any medical claims. And guess what, y'all? You can wear all of these patches if you want. You know why? Because there's no drugs, there's no chemicals, and no ingredients. So you don't have to think, or contraindication. So you don't have to say, well, can I just wear one? Can I wear two? You can wear all of them at one time. The only one that you cannot keep on all the time is our REM patch because you put that on before you go to sleep, okay? And when you wake up in the morning, you have to take it off. Yes, Bishop? Nothing. No drugs, no chemicals, and no ingredients. You got a question. What's your question? Oh, nothing. No contraindication. So when that patch touches your skin, it sends it to your brain. It signals to your brain to correct any mistriggers or misfires that's going on in the brain. So there's nothing in it. It just interacts with your nervous system and it allows your body to do what it was designed to do. Because remember, Mrs. Morris said, asked us all, do we believe the brain controls the body? So when we can get the brain to control the body will naturally do what it was designed to do. What has happened over time? Our brain has become the slave and the body the master when it should be the opposite way. Our brain should be the master and the body the slave. All right. Great question. The next two patches that I'm going to talk about are our Kick It and Ignite. Anybody, especially the women, I guess. I'm not going to pick on the men because I think so it's more the women that stay in the pantry late at night, especially if you're in your midlife. Anybody find themselves snacking at nighttime or they got Oh, y'all, listen, y'all. Blondie said, I'm dealing with all of it, right? I'm dealing with all of it, right? So if you find yourself kind of like snacking at nighttime and you're in that pantry drawer, guess what? I like this Kick It patch because it's going to kick all those cravings, right? You know, when you say, I'm done for the night, but the pantry is calling you and you go get that cookie. Oh, Bishop laughing. You must be a potato chip man. What are you? Peanut butter sandwich at night. Okay, so he got the bread and the peanut butter. He taking it way back, right? Way, way back. So this is going to help with that. But guess what, y'all? It's not just food cravings. It's also like if you have any bad habits, maybe you just got a habit of procrastination. Maybe you got a habit of, I don't know, just whatever it could be. Doesn't have to be the bad things, but we know people who have stopped, and we're not making medical claims, came off of drugs and stopped smoking and drinking. This patch is the one for you. But guess what? This patch has a cousin or a sister or a brother, whatever you want to put in there, Ignite. And this patch right here is my friend. I'm going to tell y'all the truth, okay? This patch right here helps you burn up to 500 calories even at rest. So that means you don't have to do nothing. While you sitting in these chairs, if you had this patch on, you can burn up to 500 calories. You know how I know? Because I'm down 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds from this patch right here. So it's amazing. And if you work out, it's going to help you burn even more calories. Trey and I put it to the test. It's like you put it on, I think Nina has too. And you at the gym or you just walking or doing whatever. And all of a sudden, Paul knows, you put it on and you say, you look down at your watch and you say, man, those calories just double. So we absolutely love this Ignite patch right here. The other one that I had was Kick It, and that's Ignite. The Ignite is the one that burns to 500 calories, and the Kick It is for bad habits and cravings. Mother says she want to know about all the patches, right? She said yes. Y'all tell her she said, y'all, you don't need that. Anybody would like to have a little bit of joy in their life. You find yourself a little sad sometimes. Maybe you know somebody that's going through a, a grief and things like that. Guess what? We have a patch. We have a patch for that called Joy, and it does exactly what it says. It's going to give you some joy. I promise y'all the patch works. You ever just have like a gloomy day? Sometimes the weather will make you get into a certain mood, right? And what happens is when you put this on, it just turns your whole day right side up. You know how they say that frown be upside down, then all of a sudden, guess what? And I think Nichelle loves this patch. Yes, she absolutely loves this patch right here. Anybody wants some joy, this would be the one. Then if you're just looking for some natural energy, sometimes we just a little low, right? And we using those bad things like those 5-hour energy drinks. And if anybody's using those, let me just put this out there. Stop it right now because they cause heart palpitation, they're full of sugar, and they're bad for you. So instead, just add the boost to your life. Add the boost. It's going to give you that energy that you need. Then we have a patch called Focus. And I like to pair the Focus patch with the Peace patch because I have a job that's pretty like stressful, right, during the day. So when I put on this Focus patch along with the Peace patch, it just makes my day go very, very well. And it's also great, you know, if you know anybody, and again, we don't make medical claims that may be like autistic or have some ADHD and things like that. Guess what? When you pair this Focus patch with the Peace patch, it's an amazing combination. It's two of the patches that when Mrs. Moore was talking about Ashley and her twins, that she put on them to help them. And guess what? It works well for adults and children. So we don't want to just think it's just for the kids. I actually have a customer who said, oh my goodness, she never could finish her task throughout the day until she was introduced to the Peace and Focus patch. It completely changed her life. What didn't I talk about? Rim and Rocket, thank you. And Lumi, right? I see it, thank you. All right. Anybody interested? I'm sorry, man. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go over that. I got you, mother. I got you covered. She said, "Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready." Okay, so then we have the Lumi patch. This is for our skin, And the Lumi is amazing. I look like you've been using a lot of Lumi. You wear Lumi every day? Yes. So the Lumi is incredible, okay? And it's not just for glowing skin, but it's good for like eczema. I myself had a bad patch on my back from using a Lumi patch. It's lightening up. It is definitely working. It's also good for things like psoriasis, anything that deals with your skin. And what we notice is if you couple this patch with the Defend patch, it does some amazing things because remember, the Defend is for immune support. So when you couple that with in recovery with the Lumi patch, it's like it just speeds up that process and it really just does what it needs to do. So Lumi is incredible as well. We have a patch. Anybody struggle with sleeping well or have poor sleeping habits? Anybody dealing with that? Oh, Jasmine said yes, yes. Guess what, Jasmine? Oh, and you too, 7 Second Raymond. Okay. Listen, the REM patch is going to help you with that, okay? It's going to not put you to sleep, but what you will have is better quality of sleep. And guess what? I don't think it makes you wake up groggy at all. But if you have not had good sleep in a long time, I'm going to tell you, you might oversleep. I'm not going to lie, okay? Listen, her son Julian is oversleeping because, and I have overslept with this patch too, and been like, oh my goodness, I'm still sleeping. And that means our quality of sleep has not been good. This is going to put you in that third realm of sleep where you're going to enjoy a well rested night of sleep. So if you know anybody, this is going to be the patch for them. Then we have a patch called the Rocket Patch. All right. And some people are probably saying, oh, I know what that's going to do, right? Look at First Lady, she laughing. The Rocket Patch is incredible, and it has kind of multiple uses, but think about it. Yes, it is for the bedroom. We're pretty much all grown in here except for Paige, but Paige know about all these patches. She could talk about them. And it's going to help with the bedroom, okay? And it was mostly geared for the men, all right? And you do have to use it over a period of time. We tell people use this patch for a good 30 days before you really see a difference. We have some shorter time frames if you're younger, right? But also, ladies, I'm going to tell you, this patch has become one of my favorite patches because if you are going through like the change of life, you know, that menopause, premenopause, I'm going to tell you, when you couple this with the Ignite, and the peace patch, oh my goodness, the hot flashes go away, the mood changes, you're not sweating at nighttime. It does some amazing things. So I would say, listen, for the man or the woman. Now we're going to talk about our last two amazing new patches. Somebody say new. All right, these are exciting. These are great. And Bishop just had this Zen patch put on him. And I'm going to tell y'all, I put the Zen patch on for the first time today. And I'm going to tell you, I feel so clear. It's just something about this patch, the mental clarity, the focus. It seems like your mind is just on a different level. It's like everything, and I'm going to use the word papow, because it just seemed like to me like everything is just like so clearer and you're in a zone and like where I might normally like stop and pause. I've been kind of flowing today, which I like. I'm not forgetting like where did I put my phone and where this is. I'm serious, y'all. Sometimes I'll be like, babe, where's my this and where's my that? You like it's right there and I forget. This is going to help with that, all right? Memory and cognitive function, creativity. Okay, so if you know anybody that is struggling in that area, this is going to be for you. I see you looking over there, Bishop. He like, yeah, I know some people that need that. And last but not least, our Assure patch. And this patch, like Mrs. Morris said, is going to be for motion sickness, nausea, mild nausea. I know our daughter, when she rides in the car, she immediately gets sick if she's in the back seat. She has that issue. If you know people who go on cruises, sometimes they have that patch on their neck. I think they call it a Dramamine patch or something like that. This would help with that. When you fly, some people, have difficulty when they get on the airplane. This would be good for that. Any kind of movement, this would be good for you. Mr. Mora, put on about 3 of these, okay? And like we said, expecting moms. Y'all know they go through a difficult time sometimes. This would be for them. So these are our 15 patches. Again, we don't make any medical claims with the patches, okay? But I will tell you again, You can wear them all together. You can wear one. You can wear all 13. Just remember, if you put on that rim patch to go to bed at night, take it off in the morning, okay? Because then guess what's going to happen? You're going to be sleepy all throughout the day. So I'm going to give it back up to Mrs. Morris so she can take over from here.
Much. Y'all give it up for Tedra Gordon. All right, so let me explain some of the differences between the two patches. Mother pointed out, well, balance says total homeostasis for liberty, and then it says cognitive balance for Zen. Cognitive balance for Zen is more for your mind. Okay, it's for the mind, where liberty is for the body, your total body. It makes sense? So your mind, balance in your mind with Zen versus liberty, which gives you balance in your body. Now, if you notice that there's a lot of similarities also between liberty and victory. If you see that, well, the differences you'll see with victory is for more athletic performance and recovery, right? So that's why we really love victory, because it's great for recovery as well as the added benefit of help with neuropathy. So that's why people are, even if people don't work out, they're using victory because victory has the added benefits of power, recovery, neuropathy, and so much more. So it's like liberty, but not like liberty, right? It has a lot of the benefits of liberty, where victory is not putting the body in total homeostasis. So that's why liberty is important, because people will say, well, why can't I just wear victory? Well, you can. You can, depending on what you want. So a lot of people who are only really concerned with athletic performance wear victory patch. All right, do we have any questions about any of the patches before we go further? Mm-hmm. You can feel a difference. Mm-hmm. Yep. Any other questions? No, no questions. That means we did a really great job if we don't have any questions. Okay, so there are several ways that you can get the patches. Of course, we have them here today. And if you get them here today, you'll get them much more cost effective than you would on the website. Okay? On the website, when you go to the website, the manufacturer suggested retail price of our one pack of patches is $99. On the website, they're $69. So you do get a big discount. However, today, if you get them while you're here, you can get 2 packs for $100. All right, and we take debit card, credit card, all of those things. Each pack of patches will last you anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, because if it doesn't come off, we don't take them off. All right, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we leave them on, and some of our patches, I mean, I got one right here on my leg, y'all. I don't even remember when I put it on. I think it's been about 4 days now. I don't know, maybe 5. Paul looking at me crazy. They stay wet very well. And if it doesn't come off, I don't bother it. As long as it stays flush to your skin, it is going to continue to work. You can take a shower in these. You got to know that I shower. My husband would not have it no other way, but neither would I, okay? So you know I'm showering. You can shower in them because they are waterproof, right? They're waterproof. You don't want to submerge in a tub, all right? If you submerge in a tub, they will lift off, okay? However, taking a shower is fine. Like we mentioned, you can wear them all together. There are no contraindications, and I will explain. Just like I said earlier, this is neurotechnology. So each patch has a different coding on it. So we could call it the braille for your brain. All right. So Liberty has a code on it that it sends the signal as soon as it touches your skin, because our skin is the largest organ of our body and is the most sensitive to what? Touch. Touch. That's why your mate, your husband can come and whisper something to you, and what happens on your neck is like, whoa, right? It's the most sensitive part of your body, which is why 7 seconds, once the patch hits your skin, it is sending a signal to your brain, a message, not just a signal, but a message. And what's the message? For Liberty, what's the message? To give you what? More strength, energy, balance, stability, reduced inflammation, better range of motion, faster recovery, higher neurological homeostasis, and healthy aging. That is the message. As soon as the patch touched your skin, Blondie, it said, Go do this. And immediately what happened? Stronger. So that's what's happening with the patch. There's no ingredient, nothing's absorbing into your skin. Like if you who in here takes Tylenol or Motrin? Well, I used to. You take Tylenol? Sometimes. Let me tell you about Tylenol. My son Julian recently had a vocal surgery. And when I flew up to Philadelphia to be with him, because I mean he's a singer, so you know that's a sensitive, emotional. That's emotional. When we were in the recovery, the nurse, the discharge nurse, said to him, "Well, son, listen, if you're in pain," he said, "use Tylenol." But guess what he said? He said, "Don't take too much, because it'll destroy your liver." Now he told him that in the hospital. Don't take too much, because it'll destroy your liver. Why would I want to take anything, even a portion of it, right? If I know that this has the potential to destroy my liver. My other son, my eldest son, recently had a really bad fall. A really bad fall. He fell down his steps with his suitcase in his hand. He was actually coming to meet us in Las Vegas last week. Fell and dislocated his shoulder. Right? He called me screaming. I almost left Vegas because he was screaming. And y'all know when your kids call you and they call screaming, you don't know what's going on. I was getting ready to go to the airport. Okay? And I had to speak. I said, I'm leaving here. And he fell down. He didn't know what was wrong, but he said he knew that every time he went to move, Bishop, he said he felt his whole entire, he said he could feel it in his shoulder, the bones. He could feel it moving with him. And so he thought he had broken his shoulder or broken his arm. We got somebody to go get him because he couldn't get up at all. Couldn't get up. So we had to call somebody over there to go get him. They took him to the ER and he had dislocated the shoulder. They popped it back in. But here he is a week later and still in pain. So yesterday, I had one of our teammates go take him some patches because he has the workout patches. He didn't have any of the pain or the peace or anything like that because it was driving him crazy. He hasn't been able to work all week because he can't even lift his arm. And they said he went back to the hospital. They said, well, it's just got to take his time to heal. But he said, Mama, I don't want to take any pills. I don't want to. He almost went back to get something stronger than the ibuprofen that they had prescribed. And I said, no, let me send somebody over to you with some patches first. Right? So this is not, and I want you all to know that this might feel foreign to you. I understand. I told you I went to Canada and I sat in that office like, yeah, right, sir. Some patches. But I will tell you, this is not the future of wellness. This is the right now. And I will promise you, in about 2-3 years, you won't see pills being prescribed. Even Tylenol has a patch now. Okay. Even Tylenol has a patch now. I've seen the commercials. Why? Because they scared of us. But their patch still has ingredients. Ours does not. So people will say, well, why don't I just use lidocaine? I could just get that from my doctor. Well, the lidocaine patch is lying to your pain. It's not taking the pain away. It's lying to your pain. I've used them. They don't work. I used them after a car accident. They was big and smelly, and they didn't work. And think about what that's now putting in your body. It's going through your skin. This has no ingredients, and I know it's difficult to understand. How is this patch working, and there are no ingredients? How does it work? We just showed you. I also don't know how God makes the sun go up and the moon go up when it's time, and how the leaves just naturally change. I don't understand that. I don't. But what I do know is when we put this patch on you, immediately there's a shift. There's a change. Immediately, it's suddenly. And what I know is, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is taking us back to the way our bodies were designed to work, and that is to heal on its own. That is to heal on its own. So what happens with Super Patch, and then I'm done, and if you want to purchase patches, you can today, and if you don't, that's fine too. You can take the information with you, and you can call us because we do live local. But what I know is this, like I said, the fact that children, our daughter doesn't sleep well. She a night owl. She was that way when she was in my stomach. Literally, I would go to lay down, Mom, and as soon as I would go to lay down, guess what would happen? jump, 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 thump, 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 thump. Like, and that was every night. Well, let me tell y'all, she turned up at 10 o'clock every night. Every night. She get a second wind on life, like every single night. And then she got our dog doing the same thing. Every night at 10 o'clock. And I'll say, Paige, go get them patches. Go get them patches, because it is time to take it down. But she was that way inside of me. So it's not a surprise that she's that way now. It's just a surprise that 11 years later, she's still doing the same thing. Almost 12 years. But we give her a rim and a peace patch, and she is out. 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 All right, so I know that it feels strange. It does, and it's a new way. That's because we oftentimes it's just the way we're naturally wired. This is not a put down to anybody. We are naturally wired to resist change, because what happens when we're presented with change, our brains go into protect mode because this is something foreign or different. It's just like, what are you talking about? A patch is gonna make people walk. Yeah, we've watched it all. We've seen it all. Stuttering stopped. We've seen it all. Trembles, shakes, stop. Right? And here's the last thing I'm gonna say. I promise it's the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna do another 15 minutes after I say this, because you know that's what my dad used to do when I was growing up. Give me 15 more. He still does it too, right? Right. What's different about Super Patch versus medicines? I'm gonna explain it. Medicines mask the problems. They mask them. They put a Band-Aid over the problem. All right? That's why even sometimes surgery makes it worse. Doesn't always make it better. Sometimes it makes it worse. Okay? But medicines mask the problem. Guess what Super Patch does? Super Patch rewires your brain. So where it might have been a little off from whatever, trauma, surgeries, accidents, right? Lack of sleep, bad diet, not enough sunlight, all of the things that add up and accumulate over years and years and years of our lives. I mean, your testimony, Sylvia's testimony is crazy too, right? I want you to know Super Patch rewires the brain. So after time, guess what happens? You get stronger. After time, after you wear these, you get better. And you may not need this forever, unlike how you're on pills and they expect you to be on those pills forever. So I am Nina Moore. I'm so glad. Thank you, Bishop and Lady Span, for having us. Bishop's going to take over.
Hallelujah. Come on, give her a hand of praise. Listen, I can tell the difference when it's in right now.
Yeah, see?
Wow. I really can. I really can. I can't explain it to you. I'm a little more calmer. I am. You need to give me a couple of packs of Zen, Jack. I like that. My church mother over there, she about to get up and shout. She's feeling good. Amen. They work, y'all. They work. They really do. Again, it's fully knocked out, as I told you before. I can't explain it to you, just like Nina just said. I can't explain it. No medication, no nothing. It's just an act of God. So I thank God for you coming. It's helped me with my tremors, because all I was using was, I was using Liberty. All I had was Liberty. My sister there, she put the piece on me. I got the Zen, so I'm straight now. I'm good to go. Let me take my text. Again, I'm all about giving information to our people. And thank you for coming, Nina. I'm sorry for giving the wrong time. I don't know. We're sitting there talking to my leaders, my deacon and my administrator here. Why did I tell her 12:30? Why did I tell you that? We wasn't the first, because you were supposed to be here January 25th, is that right? That was, I don't know why. Think that's boosting you? Still trying to figure that out. I don't know why I told you 12:30. Is that what it was? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'm going to pray before we leave. Father, I thank you for this time that we have to share. Thank you for the information that you've given to us. And I pray right now in the name of Jesus that as we get leave this place, that you go with us. Thank you for Nina and her husband, Paul, for daughter Paige, God, for coming to share with us. And I pray that you continue to bless them. Whatever they put their hands to do, God, I pray in the name of Jesus that you continue to bless them and prosper them in the name of Jesus. As they continue to help their people, your people help their people. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen. Hallelujah. So you guys have a safe trip home. It's raining out. You can take me offline, please, sir. Thank you. Amen. Be safe going home, guys. Come back and see